Hello,
Hi, everybody. Guess what time it is?
Talk about GW preview time.
It is. Why the lack of enthusiasm?
It was boring. It was not what I expected.
I guess, to be fair, that is probably the best way that I could put it. They did it in a totally different format this year. We did not have... They were not up on the stage talking live about things. So they had... very well done. Really well done. A big movie, essentially, right?
Yes.
From start to finish, where there was interview inserts, right, throughout the whole presentation, where they introduced and did little teaser things of different things along the way. We did get to hear from designers from the different games within GW, speaking about the pieces that were new for that game.
Yes.
So that was interesting. I guess what I thought was very fascinating was because of the way that they did the presentation like that, and it wasn't a live thing. The crowd didn't feel super into it.
No, they didn't engage the crowd this year. You literally sat there and watched. Was it like a 40-minute-ish video? It's very long. It's very interesting to see the thought process behind the creators of the different games and the things that are coming out. But basically, at the beginning, we were told, we're going to show you a video. We're not going to do a question and answer, but we'll be hanging out at the front if you want to engage us in socialization. Mm-hmm. So you were there, all of a sudden, you're out, right? Then, on top of it, they had people walking around. I honestly felt like I was in basic training or something, and walking around to see if anybody had their phone out, and they were going up to them and telling them to put their phone away.
We understand the reason, right? Because they want it to be a special experience for people at Adepticon. There is truly a reason people flock to this event, because you do get to hear the news and the information first.
Yes.
But it literally is like minutes or a handful of hours before the information gets shared broadly. But their goal is to not have that leaked by people in the room.
Right.
And so they police the devices. And so it's kind of like being at the movie theater, where they're walking around, and if kids are screwing around or kicking the backs of the seats or whatever, they'll ask you to knock it off.
Or trying to film the Star Wars movie in the theater with your phone.
Exactly. So, and we did see it go on. I saw it at least 3 times where they went and politely told somebody to put their device away.
Yep.
So, there was that. The lack of question and answers at the end bothered me a little bit.
Very much.
And to be fair, if anyone has paid any attention at all recently with the things that are happening within the GW community, with production and stock issues, interactions or lack thereof with game stores, we'll just leave it at that. I don't know if that was an intentional choice to not allow that topic of conversation to get brought up.
I don't know.
So pitchforks and torches would come out. But on the other side of that, I miss the question and answers, because odds are, if one person has a question about something in particular, lots of other people are thinking the same thing. And so if you go to do kind of the hangout with them post the chat, you're not going to get the same information that somebody might have asked, and it might have very well have been about what you wanted to hear.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about a few of the things. Chris, if you'll open up that one camera angle that's shut down on the side there. No, right on the screen. Look at the screen. You see our cameras. There's one that's grayed out. Activate that one.
Trying to get extra fancy here. Bear with us for a
second. It's the bottom one grayed out. It looks like it has the graphic from Age of Sigmar. Excuse me for a minute.
There we go. All right. So the big
Hold on a minute. Chris, can you switch to the third camera screen? Third one. There's from your left. There you go. Okay.
Hey, there we go. Nice. So obviously the big news probably is in Age of Sigmar, and we're going 4th edition.
Third.
Third?
Third edition. Third edition.
New edition. Yeah. Yeah.
It's 4th edition?
It is.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I don't play Age of Sigmar, so.
The response, the crowd response was interesting.
There was a few cheers here and there, but It wasn't rocking the room.
No, but we heard a row of boos behind us, which I found fascinating. I have to believe that the only reason that could potentially be a boo is just that people just get into a groove with how they're playing a game.
Yep.
Maybe, and especially if you're newer to playing a game, and then
Chris, you can close that
we're gonna swap out an addition and potentially change some.
Chris, you can close that screen.
Information. That's probably part of it. What I thought was interesting was that they talked about, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but is there going to be a particular type of gameplay that is in addition to the way Age of Sigmar can be played? Because part of what they pitched felt a little more to the board gamey end of things.
Well, they have a new edition of Age of Sigmar coming out called Spearhead. And what Spearhead is going to be like an introductory game. Basically, you get 2 mini factions, if you will, or war hosts, or whatever they call it. And it's more board game-ish in some aspects. The idea is to get you into Age of Sigmar.
With a lower model count and that sort of.
And it's supposed to be quick plays, so you can play a game in an hour. You know, it's like some other games where you start on a tabletop version and transition into the full miniatures war game version. It's just a way to get people into the game easier.
Yeah.
So.
But the big thing with the Age of Sigmar though was they're Dawnbringers.
Yeah.
And they did a cinematic movie trailer, and that was really well done. Holy cow! And now that's available out online. So if you haven't already seen it, you should definitely go check that out because it is really well done. And even if you're not playing Age of Sigmar or don't really know anything about it, like it draws you in. Like I was automatically interested. And the big thing is that they're bringing Skaven back into
if you watch the video, you'll see that. And then if you follow Warhammer at all, they had the thing about Sigmar lied, and I'm like, what is that about? Because I have recently gotten to the old world where Sigmar was, before he transitioned and all that stuff, to a god status or whatever, immortal status, whatever he is now. But I didn't understand what it means. But basically, my takeaway is that I don't think he necessarily lied. He just didn't tell me the cost of becoming one of those Stormcast Eternals, whatever they're called.
Stormcast Eternals.
Yeah, Stormcast Eternals. So basically, you die a lot, and then you come back. And every time you come back, it kind of takes a little bit of your humanity away. Mm-hmm. So that's the reference I got from the video. I don't know who does their graphics, but very well done.
Brilliant. Yeah, for sure. What else do we talk about?
Well, can we talk about the old world?
I know you want to talk about the old world. Yeah, so what are we getting in old world?
So,
some more old things.
Yes, some more old things.
Chris is excited, though.
We're getting dwarves.
Yeah.
We all knew dwarves were coming. We hoped. But again, it's really re-releasing old models. And I think there are 2 new models out of that whole set that's new. And one of them's the king, on a shield carried by 3 dwarves.
So you know what I noticed,
I wasn't very impressed.
So that
which is a better dwarf model?
Gimli.
Well, there's always Gimli, but the one that's on the battle goat, Iron Hills.
Oh yeah.
His cousin.
Yep. My thing, the new model that they showed off, I thought was gorgeous, and like it's new, shiny, and that was great. But the first thing that struck me is that to me it didn't look like it went with the old sculpts.
No, it's
very stylistically very different. So it's going to look super different on your table. Obviously, you can work your paint schemes into things to kind of tie things together, but it is a new shiny sculpt, and it does not have the same vibe as the old school dwarf sculpts.
And then there's Bugman's.
Yeah.
Bugman makes a return on a big old cask pulled by a donkey, a little old donkey, which is really cool. I mean, I picked up a Bugman's from Bugman's Cafe at Warhammer World and painted that up a couple years back. So so if you're a dwarf player, you're gonna like it. You either like dwarves, or you don't like dwarves. I just think to me it almost seems like Warhammer find a warehouse full of old Warhammer Fantasy Battle stuff and go, hey, how can we make money off of this stuff, right? And so they print up some boxes and new manuals and whatnot, and then put it in there. But we'll see. Outside of that, 40K.
40K. So we've got new Chaos Space Marines coming.
Yeah.
Right, and then within that universe, also we've got a new set for Kill Team.
Yeah.
Coming out, and the crowd actually seemed really excited about that. That was probably one of the things that got the biggest next to the Skaven. Skaven won for the big news, with what people I think cheered the loudest for. But they were liking the Kill Team there too. And then Warcry has a new.
What were they?
It was two new. It was Briar and Bone. Is the two new sets
some freaky
that are within
dudes,
there.
Chris, can you?
It was a very interesting storyline for that one.
On the computer there, can you tab to the tab where the Warhammer stuff is on, and then see if you can scroll through that and see if you can bring up the Warcry stuff, and then just share that screen back.
Yeah, and again, for something that is part of the GW world that I am not well versed in, and I don't really know anything about it. That storyline was very interesting, very bizarre. But yeah, that was kind of the big things, right?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Where were we talking about the crazy trees? That was back in Age of Sigmar again.
Yeah, Age of Sigmar has so they have basically their version of elves, Sylvaneth?
The Sylvaneth.
But they're corrupted.
Yeah. Oh, yes. There you go.
Right? So they're all corrupted. And just, man, obviously they're going for the really weird and wacky stuff.
The grim dark world, I think, came through very strong and loud in the information that they had. But I mean, that's kind of really our big takeaways from it, would you say? So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to hear from you guys what you think. If you're excited by the things that they shared, and like I said, I couldn't judge by the crowd response if the crowd didn't seem like they were as into it just because of the way the information was presented, or if the crowd was hoping something different was going to be presented that we didn't get. I don't know. The movie kind of format just made it a really different response from people, so it's a little hard to tell, I think. But
they had a couple teaser videos too. One was the Adeptus Mechanicus. That's the one with the Mars that they showed the red planet, and then so that's for Horus Heresy. So they're going to have an Adeptus Mechanicus set of some setup. They literally showed us a 5-second clip of Mars. And then the symbol for Adeptus Mechanicus. So something's coming out for Horus Heresy there. So
there was a couple of teaser things.
You can go ahead and close
and then we also got tarot cards. Tarot cards that we need to take to the Warhammer. Did you do that while you were there?
You got to collect all 10.
No, I thought they said no. That is not what we're telling people to do.
Oh.
Right? Oh yeah, Chris got one here. You found yours, or you got a different one?
No, Marty lost his.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so...
And I don't know why they gave me that one.
We know why.
We know why. He got the fool, needless to say. Do with that what you will.
Right.
But yeah, so you're supposed to take your fate card, your tarot card, to their stand. They will read and tell you your fate. And apparently there's probably prizes, giveaways that are associated with particular cards.
Correct.
They did ask at some point when they were talking about the cards, and I want to say they referenced like the God cards, and only like in the room of close to 1,000 people. By the way, there was 1,000 tickets available for this event, and there was at least 900 and some people in there. There was literally maybe 20 people that raised their hand when they asked who has this card. Which makes me feel that is the hot card that they were looking for. So, wasn't the cards that we got. So, but we'll see.
Let's talk about some omissions from the preview.
Yeah.
The first omission, there was nothing about Legion Imperialis.
No, there was not.
Which frustrated me because I'm all about the
crazy.
epic. And there you go, Chris, you got it. I can see it scrolling now. So, but there was nothing for Legion Imperialis. There was nothing for Lord of the Rings. Middle Earth Fantasy event, Middle Earth Battles. so begin to wonder if they're going to start phasing out Middle Earth.
Gosh, I hope not.
I mean, no. Honestly, between you and me and you, it's the best game they have.
It's definitely my favorite.
Yeah. The rule set is solid. They've not changed the rule set because it's a solid rule set.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a shame. But, you know, we all know 40K is the bread and butter.
The Legion Imperialis is an interesting...
Yeah. I hope it's not one of their one-offs. Oh, they did show some stuff for Necromunda, too.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So, there's some stuff out.
And Underworlds.
You know, all their little offshoot games. Honestly, we could throw up some stuff here, but if you have 40 minutes to take out of your day and you want to watch the video, go through it.
It is really nice.
The video is well produced. The camera work is beautiful. The sets are good.
And there is nothing better. I mean, the creators of the content are so passionate about what they bring that, like, regardless of whether you are personally tied to a specific game, you have to love the passion that they bring to what they're talking about.
And what was that girl that they kept bringing up, Braxta or something like that? Yeah. I mean, she was like the center point of this whole preview on her horned lizard-looking thing. So
I don't have that immediately available, but yeah, it's interesting.
Let me see her. It's right here. The Spear of Ever-Chosen Heralds, the final chapter of Dawnbringer series. So yeah, they're going into the final chapter. Can you bring that up, Chris? Or here, I got it. See? That.
Yeah.
That's what they kept talking over and over, how awesome this person is. So it sounds like Age of Sigmar is going to go through a huge shift at the end of this series, because this is like the end and everybody's going to die and collapse and whatnot. So everybody was like, oh, is this going to be like Warhammer Fantasy Battles when the end of the world or end of times, whatever it's called. And then something else is going to come along. I don't see that happening since they got a new rulebook coming out. But,
true.
I imagine
that
it's going to be...
Skaven interaction in the video is fantastic, though. Like, it's...
So if you're one of those people that like to play with rats, you'll be all about that. So I imagine those will be very large armies of just a whole bunch of rats.
Yeah,
you know?
that could be... I'm sure they probably die easier.
Yeah, you'll have a huge model count for that. But yeah, no Legion Imperialis. I was kind of disappointed on that. Nothing for Adeptus Titanicus. I mean, I know that's an older game from several years ago, but I thought with Legion coming out, we would see more of the big stompy robots. You know, because it's the same scale. It's all fit to go together. So
yeah.
We talked about Middle
Earth.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I don't know. Have a look at the video. Let us know what you think. Because, like I said, it's hard to tell if it was that it wasn't what people were hoping they were going to talk about, or if it was just the flow because we were watching a video and not interacting with a live.
The video experience. To me, it's like just post a video online, and you know you have all these people in a room, engage the audience.
Yeah.
You know, talk to them. You know, have some of those people there that could talk about their game.
Yeah.
I would have been more interested and attached to the conversation even if those creators that were in the game were on stage talking about their game.
Yeah.
I would have been more engaged instead of watching a video. Because I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of times I start wandering.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the ceiling, I'm looking at the doors, I'm looking to see who's got their phone out and who's going to get yelled at next. So, you know, because I don't play Age of Sigmar, really. I don't really play 40K. I mean, I think some of the stuff's interesting. Like Legion Imperialis, I love Middle Earth.
Yeah.
And
I mean, and so maybe it was just a miss from the perspective that it wasn't the things that we were as passionate about. But
I can say from a few years back when we were at Adepticon 2019, I think it was the last one we've been to. It's been a few years, guys. They did, live stage, and it was very engaging.
Yeah.
And even though I didn't play, I was in. And then we saw the same conference at UK Games Expo. Remember?
Yes.
And it was roughly the same stuff, but the audience was totally
altogether. But I think that's a cultural
thing,
difference.
Yeah. doing it on live. If GW, or if you're out there listening to me, which I doubt you are, but if you are, my suggestion to you is engage your audience. When Andy Smiley was their community guy, their outreach guy, I don't remember what his official title was, but that's when they really started outreaching and engaging the crowd. And they have all this stuff, but it seemed like they were pulling back, and we're going to show you, but we're not going to tell you about it. We're not going to answer your questions.
Yeah.
So engage your audience.
Let us know if you happen to be one of those people that went up to talk to them after the show.
Did they answer your questions? Or they just politely do the British thing and go, well, hey, how about the weather? Type thing. So.
Well, all right, guys. I think we've rambled on long enough on that one. But, watch the video. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you're excited about any particular aspect of those things that were shown. And
there's a comment. Chris, go to the comments. We have comments. Right there in the sidebar, it says comments. Chat.
Well, this is Warhammer.
Bottom. Isn't the bottom?
It's the left side. It says chat. It's a bubble.
Chat.
But is it not showing?
It's showing.
Overlay it. Hold on, kids. All right, let me get my spectacles because I can't see.
No, I can't see.
Walkabout Games. Hey, Chris. Chris? Why don't you go ahead and read them? It's a little hard for us to see the screen.
Walkabout Games is saying hi, guys.
Yep.
Nice to see ya.
Alex Malekis.
Yep.
My nephew.
Yep.
Says all hail the great horned rat.
There you go.
Need more warpstone.
There you go. Okay.
So, see, there is something in there, for a lot of people. Just maybe wasn't some things for us we were looking for.
Right.
Just weren't the things we were looking
Not
for.
All right, guys.
Wrong IP.
We're going to go ahead and close out this episode. Make sure you stay with us throughout the weekend. And if you have any questions, comments, throw them up. And please like, subscribe, and share these videos if you know how. And
we will see you in the next one.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.